Top 5 reasons Upwork is not a good platform to find freelancers and build your team. What's up, guys? Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, showing you how to turn your talents and skills into a full online business. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons that you shouldn't use Upwork. So this is video number 2. Over on my channel, I've done a complete series on how to hire people on Upwork, and I've also done a video, top 5 reasons to use Upwork to be balanced. So this one is going to be all negative. The last video was positive. So let's dive in. Reason number 5, the site is slow and buggy. Guys, for a platform this large and a company of that size, it's really surprising that their platform doesn't work more smoothly. I can't tell you how many times I've been working on the platform or trying to sign in and just can't because their servers are down, or maybe there's too much traffic, or whatever excuse they give you on that page. There's just so many times where the pages don't load or things don't show up properly. And it's definitely not me. I've had this with multiple internet connections, if I'm at home, if I'm at the office, or I'm out at a coffee shop. And of course, I went to Reddit and found these other people who are experiencing the same thing. So it's definitely a software issue for them, and it's something that just needs to be fixed. Reason number 4, proposal volume is low. I don't know how Upwork, changed the way it filters through candidates or post jobs, but when I worked on Elance, when I would post a job, I would get just a flood. I get so many proposals, I wouldn't know what to do with them. However, in the past couple of weeks using Upwork, I found that I'm lucky to get 10 proposals. For example, on my last project, I only got 10 proposals, and 3 of them were from people that I had taken the time to reach out to and invite to the project, and then another 4 weren't qualified at all. So if I hadn't spent 2 hours, going through Upwork, searching and inviting freelancers, I would have only had 4 people to choose from. That's really not that great. So I'm not quite sure what's changed there, but I've definitely seen the proposal volume really low when you're posting jobs. Number 3, rising costs. This is just a natural part of any marketplace, but I've noticed over the past 4 years, the pricing of things has begun to rise. Of course, I'm sure there's, economics and inflation and all that other stuff, but essentially I've noticed with some particular projects, I'm based in the US, where it would actually be cheaper for me to just go over to Craigslist and hire somebody, local, who, as opposed to hiring someone through Upwork who is halfway around the world. Now, I will say you're not always going to be searching for, the absolute lowest, like I only want to pay $1 an hour. Well, you're going to get $1 an hour work. At the same time, though, when you're looking at the costs of who you're hiring, there definitely should be a differential in there that acknowledges the fact that there's someone who's halfway around the world. English isn't necessarily their first language, and the education levels might be different. So that might just be something I'm experiencing, but I'm definitely noticing work that used to cost me 10 to 12 bucks a couple of years ago is now costing me 20 or more, and some of the more experienced freelancers are just charging exorbitant amounts of money when they're not really improving that value aspect on the back end. So that's number 3 for me. And then number 2, kind of tied into money again, is the high fees. Now, as someone who's hiring, you're not going to be hit with all of the fees that Upwork charges the freelancers. However, freelancers are beginning to adjust their rates as well, and I think that's also tying into why rates are going up. And I have this little chart here for you showing you how freelancers are charged. And when you're on the platform, you'll probably notice some really odd hourly rate numbers, and that's because some freelancers have increased their rates by a particular amount to try and give them a little more of a cushion on that part that Upwork takes away from them. So while it's not directly related to, what we have to pay as clients who are people who are posting and hiring freelancers, it's definitely something we need to consider, because freelancers aren't as happy on the platform anymore, because you might be paying them, 15 to 20 bucks an hour, but they're only keeping 17 or 18 after everything's done. And reason number 1 not to use Upwork.com is their support. Their support is slow, it's manipulative, and it is mean. I'm only going to show you one of the emails I found here just because I don't want to get this video flagged for slander. But essentially, long story short, my account had been supposedly accessed. They have yet to show any evidence of this, but was supposedly accessed from an IP address outside the United States. Of course, I reached out to my team to see if anyone had used my Upwork account for some strange reason. Of course, the answer was no. And even though I repeatedly told them that I did not log in from those countries that they supposedly saw account activity from, they flagged my account, suspended it, suspended the current projects I had running. So all of a sudden, the new contractors I had hired couldn't log their hours and just will stop working because they don't know if they're going to get paid. Right? I don't blame them at all. And sending me manipulative emails to try to get me to admit to something that I did not do. So I'm just bringing this to you saying it's really concerning when these platforms get so large. They're more concerned with catching people in the act of violating some of their terms of use, as opposed to actually taking the customer service approach and saying, okay, well, you didn't do this, so let's figure out why on earth someone was accessing your account from outside the United States when you didn't share anything. And so all that to say, they're more concerned with catching you doing something wrong than actually protecting you and your account and your best interests. So that does it for the top 5 reasons I think you shouldn't use Upwork. Now, disclaimer, I still use Upwork a little bit, and that's simply because they're the only game in town right now, but I can guarantee you, as soon as a competitor comes in, they are going to crush Upwork unless Upwork does a complete 180 and starts treating their users, freelancers, and clients, both sides of the spectrum, like actual people as opposed to a bunch of little kids that they need to police and make sure are following their terms of use. So if you got some value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe for more business building tactics and strategies just like the ones covered in this video. Over on my YouTube channel, I'm chronicling the process of building an online business from scratch and showing you how to take your talents and skills and turn those into a full online income while I do the same. So it's a great community we're building over there. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, I definitely recommend you go check that out, subscribe, and keep building the business you love. Comment below with your take on Upwork.com, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.